February 15th, 1995, 1:30 in the morning, Raleigh, North Carolina. FBI agents surround apartment 202 of the Players Club complex. Inside is a quiet software worker his neighbors barely know. The name on his lease is fake. The ID in his wallet is fake. Everything about him is fake, except his skill. His real name is Kevin Mitnick. He is the most wanted computer criminal in American history. For almost 3 years, he has been a ghost, changing cities, changing names, changing faces, while the most powerful law enforcement agency on Earth chases him with everything it has. He never stole a single dollar. He had no weapon. His tool was a telephone and the sound of his own voice. But here's what makes this story impossible. The FBI didn't find him. To catch Kevin Mitnick, they needed another hacker, and Mitnick made one mistake. He attacked the wrong man's computer. This is the true story of the hacker the FBI couldn't catch. Los Angeles, 1975. Kevin Mitnick is 12 years old. His parents are divorced. His mother waits tables to pay the rent, and the boy rides city buses alone across the San Fernando Valley. One day, he notices something. The paper transfer tickets are punched in a pattern. He talks a friendly driver into telling him where to buy that exact hole punch for a school project. Then he pulls blank tickets out of a dumpster behind the bus depot. 12 years old, and he's riding every bus in Los Angeles for free. That's the pattern of his entire life. Find the system, find the human inside the system, and talk his way through the locked door. By high school, he's deep into phone phreaking, taking over phone switches, rerouting calls, turning a friend's home phone into a payphone that demands a dime. In 1979, at 16, friends dare him to break into the ARC, the computer system of Digital Equipment Corporation, one of the biggest computer companies in the world. He doesn't break the machine. He calls the system manager, claims to be a lead developer, and asks for a password. They give it to him. A billion-dollar corporation defeated by a phone call. Years later, that hack catches up with him. In 1988, he's convicted, and prosecutors tell the judge something no court has ever heard, that Kevin Mitnick could start a nuclear war by whistling launch codes into a payphone. It was absurd. It was also effective. Mitnick spent 8 months in solitary confinement, not for what he did, but for what they imagined he could do. 1992. Mitnick is out on supervised release, working at a small firm in Los Angeles. The rules are strict: no hacking, no contact with other hackers. Then, investigators start looking into intrusions at Pacific Bell's voicemail systems. A warrant is issued. The FBI comes to find him. He's gone. No goodbye, no trail. Kevin Mitnick simply stops existing. In his place, new men appear in new cities. In Denver, a paralegal named Eric Weiss. He names himself after Harry Houdini, whose real name was Eric Weiss. The FBI is chasing a magician, and he's telling them to their faces. Later, in Seattle, he works in the IT department of a hospital. Helpful, quiet, ordinary. He builds every identity from scratch: birth certificates, social security numbers, driver's licenses, all obtained with the same simple tool. Not code. Conversation. Security experts call it social engineering. Mitnick is the greatest who has ever done it. He doesn't hack computers. He hacks the people who trust the computers. And here's where the story flips. While the FBI hunts Mitnick, Mitnick is watching the FBI. On the run, he penetrates the biggest technology companies on the planet: Motorola, Nokia, Sun Microsystems, Novell, Fujitsu. He walks out with the crown jewels, the source code for the cell phones in everyone's pocket. Why? Not to sell it. He never sells anything. He wants to control the device in his own hand, to modify his phone so no one can trace it. The companies will later claim the code he copied is worth $300 million. Kevin Mitnick is meanwhile clipping supermarket coupons. He monitors the phone systems around his pursuers. When agents get close, he knows. Doors get knocked on in the wrong cities. Raids hit empty rooms. Every time the FBI arrives, they find the same thing. A man who left weeks ago smiling in their imagination. By 1994, he's on the FBI's most wanted list, his face in the New York Times. The most connected government on earth cannot find one man, because that man understands one thing better than anyone alive. Every security system, no matter how expensive, has a human being standing inside it, holding the door. Christmas Day, 1994, San Diego. While America opens presents, an attack hits the home computers of a man named Tsutomu Shimomura, a computational physicist and one of the best security minds in the country. The attack is brilliant. IP spoofing, the machine tricked into trusting an intruder pretending to be a friend. Files are stolen, cell phone security tools, the exact thing Mitnick collects. Tsutomu Shimomura takes it personally. He's not a cop. He's not FBI. He's the one type of opponent Mitnick has never faced, a hacker on the other side, patient, methodical, and now angry. Shimomura drops everything and joins the hunt. The chase is no longer the FBI versus a ghost, it's hacker versus hacker. January 1995, stolen files surface in a hacked account on The Well, an online community in California. Shimomura sets up a monitoring post and watches silently as the intruder comes and goes. The trail leads through a dial-up provider called Netcom. Phone records narrow the connections to one city, Raleigh, North Carolina. The calls run through a cloned cellular modem, untraceable on paper, but a cloned phone still has to transmit. In February, Shimomura flies to Raleigh. At night, he rides through apartment complexes in a technician's car, holding a scanning antenna, watching a signal grow stronger, street by street, until it peaks outside the Players Club apartments. February 15, 1995, 1:30 a.m. The FBI knocks on the door of apartment 202. Kevin Mitnick, ghost of 3 years, master of 1,000 voices, opens the door. It's over. At the courthouse, Mitnick turns to the man who caught him and says, "Tsutomu, I respect your skills." What happens next becomes its own scandal. Mitnick is held for 4.5 years without trial, 8 months of it in solitary, again, because a judge believed the whistling nuclear launch codes myth. He finally pleads guilty and walks free in January 2000, banned from touching the internet for 3 more years. He never profited a single cent from any hack. And here's the final twist. The skill the government called a weapon became his career. The world's most wanted hacker became one of the world's most wanted security consultants, paid by the same kinds of companies he once humiliated, teaching them the lesson the FBI learned the hard way. The weakest part of any system is the person who answers the phone. If this story kept you watching, subscribe. There are more files to open.